Have you ever been in a tense meeting and noticed how the most powerful person in the room is often the quietest? That's not a coincidence, not at all. Today, we're going to break down why that little split second of silence isn't a sign of weakness. It might just be the ultimate power move. Let's dive right in. Okay, so we all have those moments, right? The ones that just make your heart pound. A really critical email lands in your inbox, you get into a sudden confrontation, or some unexpected problem just completely throws your day off course. The thing is, the trigger itself isn't what really matters. What truly shapes everything that comes next is what you do in that one single moment right after it happens. And this leaves us with two very, very different paths we can take. On one hand, you've got the knee-jerk reaction. It's instant, it's emotional, and it almost always ends with that awful, sinking feeling of, ugh, I wish I could take that back. But then there's the other path, the considered response. This one is calm, it's guided by reason, and it's totally deliberate. You can see it right there. One path leads to regret, the other leads straight to intention. So why do we so often find ourselves stumbling down that first path? The one that leads to regret? Well, here's the good news. It's not some flaw in your character. It's actually a feature of your brain's design. Let's dig into the science a little bit. Think about it. Our brains evolved for one thing above all else, survival. And that means they are built for speed. When you're faced with what your brain thinks is a threat, and it doesn't care if it's a saber-toothed tiger thousands of years ago or a stressful email today, it defaults to its emotional autopilot. Its one and only job is to act first and think later. And believe me, that autopilot is unbelievably fast. It goes like this. Step 1, a trigger happens. Step 2, you feel an instant jolt of anger or fear or frustration. And step 3, bam, an action is taken. You fire off that angry email, you raise your voice. It's this lightning-fast chain reaction with pretty much zero room for actual thought. Now here's where it gets really, really interesting. While that whole reactive pathway is our default setting, it is not our only option. We actually have a built-in high-level override switch that lets us interrupt that whole process and take back control. And this is it. It's called the pause. Now, this isn't just about being quiet for a second. It's a deliberate, active choice to create a moment of stillness between that trigger and your response. It's kind of like slamming on the mental brakes. It gives the more rational, advanced part of your brain a chance to get in the driver's seat. So let's look at how this creates a brand new, way more powerful pathway. Look, the trigger still happens, the emotion still bubbles up. Hey, that's just being human. But check out what happens at step 3. By putting the pause right there in the middle, you create space. And in that tiny little gap, your reasoning brain kicks in, and you shift from pure impulse to actual intention. All of a sudden, you're the pilot, not just a passenger along for the ride. So, what does this actually look like in the real world? I mean, what are the real benefits of making this tiny moment of silence a regular habit? Well, the difference it makes is it's truly transformative. The payoff is just huge. Your judgment gets better because you're using your whole brain, not just that first flare of emotion. Your composure is on another level, making you seem calm and totally in control. You literally start replacing those moments of regret with actions you can actually stand by. And over time, this builds an incredible amount of trust and respect with everyone around you. This quote from our source material just hits the nail on the head. A high-level override. See, this isn't passive at all. It's a really sophisticated mental move. You are consciously deciding to step back from the primitive, reactive part of your brain and engage the thoughtful, strategic part. It's a serious power move disguised as simple stillness. And you want to know the best part of all this? This incredible tool doesn't require years of training or some special certification. It's accessible to every single one of us in any moment. It is, quite simply, your most powerful second. So let's wrap up with this question. Just think for a second about a recent conversation you had or a decision you made under pressure. What might have been different if you had just taken one single extra second before you acted? What relationship could you improve? What mistake could you have avoided? Because that's really what this all boils down to. This isn't about being slow. It's about being strategic. It's about being in control. So the next time you feel that rush of emotion coming on, just remember, your pause isn't an empty moment. It's your next power move. Use it.